up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. I think episode 10 of the Big and Blizz podcast. I'm your host, Blizzy, and across from me is Big Mike, aka Big. We took another week off, family vacations and stuff. You got to get your R&R. Please like, subscribe, comment, share all the bullshit we always talk about. Please and thank you to help our algorithm, and we appreciate each and every one of you. I know the base is small at the moment, but we're hoping to expand, But we got to start off with the NBA Finals. So, what was it? Tuesday night, I believe. Big? Was it Tuesday, Game 6?
Tuesday was Game 6, yeah.
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks went out and did what we were hoping they would do, but kind of didn't think they could, and they beat the Phoenix Suns. And, disclaimer, fuck you, Chris Paul. Sorry, Sensei. Go ahead, Big. Take that.
I was saying, is that really a disclaimer? I'm pretty sure everybody who watches this on the regular
listens
knows how we feel about Chris Paul.
Yeah, little weasel bastard.
But yeah, no. Congratulations to the Bucks.
Yes, Giannis, Middleton, Bobby Portis, the fucking fan favorite. He got the key to the city out in Milwaukee. That motherfucker, anywhere he goes, he's getting panties and pussy thrown at him. I swear to God. That boy is, he's some hot shit out there. I'm sorry to interrupt that, but I had to put that out. Disclaimer, use a condom. Go ahead, Big.
Yeah, no, congratulations to all of them. I mean, I'm sorry, Larry Fitz, you didn't get your ring, but...
And you know what? Monty Williams, the coach of the Suns?
Yeah.
He's a fucking class act. He stayed on the court. Him, so Devin Booker, Jay Crowder... Chris Paul, as soon as the whistle was blown or the buzzer went off, they left the court. Monty stayed and gave love to the Bucks, and that's a hard thing to do, bro. That's really hard. But not only that, after interviews, after this, that, and the third, he came into the Bucks locker room by himself, Monty Williams, the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, and gave a speech to the Milwaukee Bucks, giving them credit and telling them how proud he was of them. And how good they were, and how he thanked them for, being in that opportunity, being blessed to be in that opportunity.
Yeah. And I mean, Monty Williams has been around for a while.
Absolutely. Lost his wife a few years ago in a car crash. R.I.P. to his wife.
Yeah, and so, the locker room talk, that's just something, that's a whole nother level.
Is that like grab her by the pussy locker room talk? Oh, no, sorry. Other locker room. Sorry, go ahead.
But making that... speech, that's a whole nother level, and I don't expect Booker to go into the locker room and give... No. But you would expect, and I'm going to say this, you would expect a veteran like Chris Paul to understand to give some love.
Shit happens, yeah.
You got some young guys like Devin Booker, and you got to act like you've been there before.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Chris Paul hasn't been to the finals before.
He's been on the cusp a couple times.
But he's been right there a few times, so act like you've been there.
Yeah.
And I could say the same thing about LeBron and all these other guys that run off the court and throw a fit when they lose.
LeBron runs off at halfway through the fourth.
But act like you've been there before.
Right.
Did Jordan? I mean, Jordan didn't lose in the finals, so
you can't really say shit about that.
But did Kobe run off crying?
No. I think Kobe gave love.
Did Kevin Garnett run off crying when the Lakers beat him?
Probably stay on the court shit talking.
Probably.
One of the best trash talkers in NBA history.
But I'm just saying, act like you've been there.
Right.
And even if you haven't been there, act like you have.
Show some class.
I'm not saying you have to go over there and kiss their ass, but
kiss the ring.
Just give a high five, bro.
Yeah, a hug.
Or even if you just chill and just throw the hand up, just wave.
Chunk the deuce, salute them, walk out. Not even do that.
And I
but don't just march off in an angry manner. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that emotionally, it's probably one of the lowest points of your professional career.
Honestly, Big, I don't even think we could fathom that.
Oh, I know we can't, but I'm just saying from the standpoint of a fan seeing these other professionals act differently.
100%.
And it's not Game 7. Y'all didn't push a Game 7.
Yeah.
And lose by a fucking buzzer beater.
Yeah.
At that point, your emotions, I could understand if you fucking went off the court, pissed off, punched a wall. Makes sense.
Slapped it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But, y'all won 2. gave up 4.
And they not got swept, but kind of got swept in a row. But yeah,
Like you literally won 2. Everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, everybody before the series even started. I think Big called this 6 games in favor of Phoenix. I might have called it 5 in favor of Phoenix, but we both stated that we really wanted Milwaukee to win, Giannis to get it, and Giannis motherfucking got it, son. 50 points. I think he had 5 blocks, something like 12 rebounds. I could be wrong on those numbers, but 50 points for sure. And there's a reason he won MVP. But the reason me and Big were talking about this earlier, and I was like, did he get 50? I thought it was 51. He said, no, he got 50, and here's why.
Yeah, he took to Instagram. Paul, he wasn't even driving. I didn't tell you that part. He was in the passenger seat.
Shit, you gotta imagine all the fucking bubbly and rosé they were drinking in the locker room.
I don't know if it was same day or next day or whatever.
Probably same night, but I don't even know if he drinks. He's like a Greek god, literally.
But yeah, so he was in the passenger seat of the vehicle talking about, I need a 50-piece. And it was selfie mode.
We're at though. Where were they?
And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, can I flip the camera around and show you? And the girl was like, yeah, whatever. And it was at Chick-fil-A. This girl's taking an order in the drive-thru line. And he said, I need a 50-piece.
I don't think they sell 50 pieces there.
I don't know. I'm being honest. Never been to Chick-fil-A.
I have twice, but I don't know this bill either.
But so he wanted a 50-piece. He said he didn't want 51 or 49 or nothing else.
No more, no less.
He was going to count them and make sure that he got a 50-piece.
And being respectful, he wasn't being a dick.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, it was all joking manner.
Yeah.
And then he said, and this, I mean, I'm going to have to try it, but half Sprite, half lemonade is his go-to drink. And from the comments of the YouTube video I saw, it's a normal Greece thing. Like, there's a drink over there that they all really like. And the closest you can get to in the States is half Sprite, half lemonade.
I'd like almost like an Arnold Palmer, half lemonade, half tea.
Yeah.
In a sense, I guess.
And so that's what he got from Chick-fil-A, and he had to make sure it was 50 because that's what he scored.
You know, that's fucking hilarious. But the thing that kills me is that you told me that watching that video, I did not see the video, but Big Mike over here said you watched the video, and it seemed like the person taking the order that was looking at this man, talking to him, didn't even know who he was or acted like she didn't. And I'm like, holy shit, this is in Milwaukee. They won at home. He's 90% sure he's in Milwaukee, 95% sure at a Chick-fil-A. How do you not know who the biggest athlete where you live at is?
Oh yeah, no.
But some people live under the, they don't do sports, and I get that. But still, like, that's crazy to me.
Oh yeah, no. She was like, and I'm guessing here, she, like 19, 20, maybe 21, and like either one, she was well composed for meeting the brand new champion
the face
slash
of the league.
MVP slash finals MVP.
The next up, like the one.
Hey, if as Shaq tells it, the new Superman, like Shaq's handing over the Superman title.
He does not give the Superman title. He did not give it to Dwight Howard. When Dwight Howard claimed it, he talked shit to Dwight and said you were not Superman.
He gave it to, and so for this girl,
gave it to Giannis. Antetokounmpo, right? Is that how you say it? Antetokounmpo, I believe.
Yeah,
so crazy.
But for this girl to not fanboy,
that's hard.
Or fangirl.
Shit, put me in that draft. I'm gonna be like, oh my god,
bro! I'd have been like in the whip. I'd have been like
free.
I'd have been like any of you guys who know Dutch Bros when they like they take your order and they're halfway in your car. I've been all the way in that car.
I'd be like, Giannis, let me get your jock strap. Don't even watch it. That's like, crazy.
Facts. Like imagine like even if it was the day after he just Wednesday he rolls up one of his fucking 50-piece. I'd have been like, bro, last night though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what's funny though is they obviously do the parade in downtown Milwaukee. Any metropolitan city that has a sports franchise that wins a championship. I wonder if that girl is watching it on TV or sees it in the newspaper, or is that the parade like, hey, that's the motherfucker that asked me for this crazy order. Who the fuck is that? Like,
well, in the video, I can't remember what he said. But he said, like, 20,000 people are watching you on Instagram Live right now or something like that. And she was like, oh, really? Like, she's still, like, he put out there that he has that much of a following.
Maybe she was high as fuck.
Hey, You know what? She was high on the Lord.
Oh shit! It's Chick-fil-A. It's LDS. She was high on the Mormon religion. Hey, all power to you. Close on Sundays. You know,
hey, that's when you really want Chick-fil-A, though. That's what all the names say.
Right? We don't share the same core beliefs with their anti-gay and LGBT. I'm pro-choice. Do whatever you want. So I don't share the same beliefs.
Hey,
but
y'all know how I
I
feel.
will fuck up some Chick-fil-A spicy sandwiches.
I mean, I need to hit that. Like, we just got one. Like, literally, before.
They're cool. They're not like.
I mean,
You know,
I'm
it's
legit.
not like heroin waiting for your fix kind of thing. They're
That's
cool
the way
though.
people make it out to
I
be.
know it's crazy. It's
It's
crazy.
like, and I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on podcast, but In-N-Out's the same way for me. Like, everybody hypes it like it's the best fucking place to get a burger.
right.
And I'm like,
I'm like
bro,
Five Guys is just as good as, if not
I
better.
think Five Guys is better.
I agree.
Fat boy opinion.
Right, and we're both a little bit
But
overweight.
like In-N-Out, the burgers are too thin.
Yeah,
Like the actual
they're
patty.
good. They're great, but it's not something.
Is it worth an hour and a half wait in the
I
drive-thru
don't
though?
know. How have we ever? Me and you riding up. Have we ever looked at the drive-thru and been like, oh, we'll wait it out? No, we've been like, oh, it's short enough, we'll go. Or fuck it, let's bypass drive-thru, we'll walk inside. If we've gone there, you know what
And
I'm saying?
that's in 95% of the time when I go into an In-N-Out, it's because they're open hella. They're open
Yeah.
like hella late.
Or you're with somebody who has to have it.
And that's my thing is people are like, oh my god, if they're not from California or the area, they're like,
Well,
oh my
In-N-Out,
God,
they have In-N-Out in Utah now where I used to live. They never had it. I brought my niece down for Christmas, and I'm like, oh shit, you want In-N-Out? And she's like, Uncle, we have In-N-Out in Utah now. I'm like, oh shit, you want Jack in the Box? Aha! Like, I got the trump card because you don't have Jack in the Box. She's like, yep.
But yeah, no. So it's just like, people be like, oh, In-N-Out. I'm like, really? That, like, come on.
Shout out to Leah, I love you, baby. But I honestly,
In-N-Out's cool.
I think Popeye's chicken sandwiches are better than, I think they're slightly better than Chick-fil-A. They're all good, but I would probably do Popeyes before Chick-fil-A.
But I'm just saying, we got a Chick-fil-A now.
It's about 30 miles, and we live in a small area.
But the closest one was 2 hours away before
oh yeah,
this.
100%.
And so I never hit it. And so now I'm like, I gotta hit it
Yeah.
just to see what the hype's about.
Absolutely.
I'm still gonna say right now.
Lemonade's good.
Right now is Sprite half lemonade. Is that good?
It's a Giannis Palmer. I don't want to do an Arnold Antetokounmpo, you know.
But I'm gonna have to go up there and ask for a 50-piece and a half Sprite, half lemonade.
If they're smart, which they have been, but have been really fucking stupid with some of their views on life, they would run with that. They would make literally a Giannis Palmer and a 50-piece. Bro,
Oh, yeah.
Bro, hey, remember that. What's the date today? If they do that shit,
22nd.
July 22nd, we're recording. If they do that shit, we have date stamped.
Trademark.
Trademark. That this is our shit.
Giannis bundle or some shit.
I know that we're not viral. We don't have a big community yet. So if they do it, it's probably not from us. But we said it first, publicly. Fuck them.
Thanks.
Fuck them.
But yeah, no. So I've been thinking about trying it, but it's brand new and everybody's all up here, and it's not. We're 2 hours from me.
It's. Oh, you said about Chick-fil-A?
Yeah,
it's not backed up like that anymore. It's not. I've been there a couple times now, and you know me. I'm fat and I'm hungry. I don't wait in drive-thrus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jack in the Box here because of COVID. Oh hell no! I would never go Jack in the Box here
And
again.
you know how many times after we've been recording, I roll by and I'm like,
Nope.
I'm hungry, and I'm like, do I hit Jack in the Box?
And you're like, I'll go to Taco. No, I won't go to Taco Bell because I'm close to.
And I just skirt. Just don't
Right.
even. I don't even slow down. I'm just like, nope.
Fuck
That shit is way too back up. And then now I don't. Is our Taco Bell now that it's drive-through only? It's not even open 24 hours, is it?
Well, they only open the drive-through
I think it's
because they could. They're still redoing the inside.
I know, but I don't.
I don't know what it is to be honest. I don't.
I thought I saw something the other day that they're only open from 8 to 8.
That's fucking wild. Y'all wouldn't understand that if you don't live in Red Bluff. This is small town.
Small town issues. We only got
But-
one Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's fucking. But we have 3 Subways, 3 Starbucks, some fuckery. Anyways, you live in a small town when you only have 1 Walmart.
Fast.
But okay, I don't know how we get away from sports. I mean, I guess
we got off the Chick-fil-A cut.
yeah. This Giannis. Thanks, Giannis, dickhead. But this is a sports and pop culture podcast. 90% sports at the moment, 95. But maybe someday. Hold on, because we might have some food shit in line eventually. But
yeah.
Or and alcohol, possibly or alcohol.
Real fast, touch on that. Everybody who's been listening, and I drank that shitty ass beer.
Oh my goodness gracious! Mind you, the beer that he's talking about on episode 7 or 8, I believe.
Something like that.
It was from Seaquake Brewery, and I said it tastes like fucking hops, barley, and dirt.
Oh,
and he couldn't even finish that shit. I don't know. I don't think he said that on air. I think as soon as we stopped recording, I was like, bro, like, your beer's hot. And he's like, it's hot because I'm not going to fucking drink it. But
which is not normal.
But that yeah, exactly. He drinks some shit that I could smell like rubbing alcohol across the table from him. But that brewery where that shit was made is at the coast of Northern California. It's about 2.5, 3 hours from us?
4 hours.
Is it 4 hours? You drove there. That's why we didn't do the podcast last week. He had a family vacation. They needed some off time.
Yeah, so we went up there, and yeah, we didn't hit the brewery obviously because we had all 3 kids. But
because why go somewhere when you can DoorDash?
Facts. We were in the hotel room, and I was like, man, what should I get? What should we get? And she was like, well, we brought some food, and I was like, nah, I'm trying to DoorDash something. And so I was like, oh, Seaquake Brewery. I was like, this is that beer I drank. I was like, let's look at the food, and I don't know why, but the pizza just looked good, and I was like, man, I'm about to do this. And so I got the all meat, because I don't like a lot of vegetables on my pizza. And then when you DoorDash from them, there's like a half and half option where you get half the pizza your way and half the pizza the other person's way. My wife got vegetables or whatever. But it was by far one of the best pizzas I've ever had.
What did you say it was comparable to? Or can you not?
Honestly, there's no place. I've never had a pizza that tastes like that.
I'm a huge pizza fan. That's my favorite pizza.
Pizza Hut's pretty good.
Because the crust, you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, around
it was 2 different kinds of pizzas, obviously, right?
Well, yeah, no. It was like a thinner crust. It was just...
But it was more homemade. It was, right?
Oh, 100%.
It was more like,
you could tell that it was
like mom and pop made, almost?
Oh, 100%. You could tell that it was like actual fresh... Like I said, I don't like a lot of vegetables.
They sprinkled love into it.
But when my wife was eating hers, she bit into like one of the jalapenos, and you could literally hear the pop because of like how crispy and fresh it was. Where it's not like
it's
sitting in a jar
or fucking refrigerated bullshit, rubbery.
And so that was that. Speaking of beer and food, I was very surprised because Blizzy over here told me that he wouldn't even have tried it after he tried that beer.
No, what was it? Angry Aunt Tammy?
Some shit like that.
It's like when the wife says Aunt Flo's here. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not drinking, eating. That's a little bit far. I apologize for that. Let's dismiss, or what does the judge tell the jury to...
disregard what
was just said. I apologize. But after smelling, and then I did taste that Angry Aunt Tammy, no weird shit. I was like, I would have seen the brewery, and as soon as I seen that, it would have popped in my head, that beer, and I'd have been like, fuck that. That beer probably tastes like fucking ass and dirt. But hey, kudos to you trying it.
Super good.
So if you're ever, what part of the coast were you at?
Crescent City. Crescent
City, Seaquake Brewery, tried their pizza. Big Mike has put a stamp of approval on it.
Oh, 100%. That's shit. I mean, like, I may drive 4 hours just to get that pizza.
Dude, I used to drive to Redding, which is 33 miles away, 3 times a month to get Pizza Hut and come back. But I mean, it's not that bad. But it when you drive that all the time, it's fucking the same straight 2-lane highway or 3-lane highway back. It's just grueling, to be honest.
I mean, I've been eating since Round Table's gotten the stuffed crust.
I don't do Round Table.
I
do Luigi's over Round Table.
I like Round Table, but it's so damn expensive.
Yes.
That's my issue. I like stuffed crust. Like Pizza Hut has the stuffed crust.
Disclaimer: Big Mike likes his crust stuffed.
Facts, and then Round Table has it, but nowhere else has an actual stuffed
real one,
crust. Like Papa Murphy's which I realized, didn't know this. People on the East Coast don't even know what the fuck a Papa Murphy's is.
That's crazy.
Because like I've met people playing video games.
Yeah, your stream, your Twitch, plug it.
Bearded Mike Gaming on Twitch. But I've met some guys through that, and I'll be like, and me and some friends from here will be like, yeah, Papa Murphy's like not bad pizza.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "What's Papa Murphy's?"
Like,
and I'll be like,
"They're like Papa John's."
I'm like Take and Bake, and they're like, "What's Take and Bake?"
Oh wow.
And I'm like, and it's weird because like we all get in our own bubble, and we think that everybody knows what we're talking about.
You feel like it's a cultural difference, even though we're all part of the same culture.
Yeah, and like so, literally, like this guy that I know is from Rhode Island, and like never heard of a Papa Murphy's, and doesn't know what a Take and Bake pizza is.
He's like, "Wait, you have to do all the work? Why do you have to pay that much?"
But they say stuffed crust, and it's not. It's like they're thick, double layer. Like it's good pizza. That
from
pizza from Papa Murphy's, it's good,
yeah.
but it's not cheesy stuffed
crust.
Yeah,
100%.
They just say stuffed crust.
But
back to basketball.
We went on. We had our fat boy wet dream already. Now I'm hungry, dickhead. Back to basketball. Did you have a story, or is it the 2K? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, I was going to start with the draft.
Go ahead, draft, yes.
I think this is the fastest we've gone from finals to draft just because of COVID and everything that happened.
It's like the shortened season and shit. And everything's crazy.
So the draft is actually next Thursday, the 29th. So from the date that we're recording, that's exactly a week.
I gave the date. It's what, 23rd today?
22nd today.
Oh, 22nd. And it's a Thursday, so exactly 1 week from today.
So our next recording, we will be able to give live reactions. It'll be a little delayed.
It'll be a little bit postponed.
But we'll be able to look at the draft picks that have happened and see if it is to what everybody expects.
And just like our very first episode of the Big and Blizz podcast, which was titled, I believe, Day 2 of NFL Draft.
Yeah.
And we started the podcast the second day of the draft, obviously, like the title shows. And we we looked back at all the first day draft picks from all the NFL teams. And then we were watching the second day as it was happening. It wasn't live. We might have been watching it and commenting live, but we have it set to where it was on all platforms.
Everything uploads on.
It goes hot Saturday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
So if you're listening on Spotify, Anchor, iTunes, YouTube, whatever it may be, we've recorded this a few days before, and it goes hot. Big over here, Big Mike will upload it and then have it set on a timer to launch on all platforms 10 a.m. Saturday. Yeah. So we're never live, and we will do live podcasts.
Oh,
at the moment, we're just not there. So, but yes.
I mean, to be honest, I think it'd be dope to do it here soon.
Well,
we've been talking about once football season rolls around.
We've been talking about Thursday night football. Maybe not every week, or maybe every Thursday night football game, or just the teams that either big games, even if we're not fans of those teams, or our team games.
Yeah.
Which I'm a Cowboys fan. Big's a Denver Broncos fan.
Yeah.
My wife's a diehard Raiders fan because we live in Northern California where they aren't anymore. But we might do those big games or some big ticket games.
Yeah.
But
for the draft being next week, which is super fast, I mean,
shit's crazy.
I saw a thing today that says that the first pick is so solidified that no one's even talking about it because this kid's going to be the first pick. So the only pick anybody's talking about is number 2.
The LiAngelo Ball? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He deserves a shot, bro. Anyways, we've talked about that.
So it's the first pick for Detroit Pistons have the first pick, for those people that don't know.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham out of Oklahoma State.
Never heard of her. No, I'm kidding.
He plays point guard, shooting guard. He's one of those one and done kids.
Because he can be.
And so, I mean, I'm not a huge college basketball fan, so I don't know a ton about him, but literally everybody's saying that there's no question he's going number 1.
He's the truth. He's the next.
My big thing is this next guy who's projected. This guy isn't for sure number 2.
Yeah.
The first guy, literally, I haven't seen a thing where he doesn't go number 1.
Yeah.
The next guy is the main reason I like what's going on. He'll be the first 5-star. Like, this kid was like a top 50 prospect to go to college who decided to forego college and spend a year in the G League.
That's dope.
Because now he's going to be drafted.
He's paving the way.
And so now he's potentially going to be drafted at number 2 overall. And he went from high school, and he went into the G League.
So he turned pro.
He did. He started making money, not a ton of money.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think my last look, most G League guys make like 40,000, 30, 40,000.
Good money for doing what you love.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, they obviously, some of these guys probably have other jobs on the side to help pay some bills. But
for their their lifestyle and shit.
He went from being a senior in high school to playing against grown men.
Yeah.
The G League is grown men that have played overseas.
Oh, yeah.
That have played in Olympic Games.
Oh, 100%.
All the
NBA stars that have to go back and rehab.
He averaged 15 points a game.
Damn.
Against these grown men.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school.
Not playing college. College, you're playing people that are stepping up like you.
Yeah.
He went straight. He dove in the deep end, not knowing how to swim.
Oh, he really did.
Like, or knowing how to doggy paddle. That's
like high school to college, it's a step up.
Yeah.
This guy, it's like when you're a little kid trying to jump 4 steps.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this kid did.
That's crazy, bro.
And everybody's going to be like, well, Kobe went straight to the NBA. Kevin Garnett went straight to the NBA.
True, very true.
That's true. But they can't do that. This kid would have done that.
Yeah.
Obviously, he didn't want to go to college. He wanted to become a pro. So if he would have been given the option to be able to step into an NBA team, he would have went into the draft last year.
100%.
So I'm really excited to see what
the future holds.
Jalen Green.
Green? Okay,
yeah, he played for the Ignite.
Which is...
I don't know who their NBA team is.
You know, that when I hear Ignite, I think of the CBD fucking bands.
But yeah, so there's that. And then for the 3rd pick, they're saying Evan Mobley. He's a power forward, big man from USC that would go to Cleveland. Another point guard to Toronto out of Gonzaga.
There's going to be a lot of names that a lot of people aren't familiar with unless you're big into.
And I'm not huge into. Huge into college basketball.
I haven't been following our podcast. I think we need to more.
But yeah, my biggest thing is I just think it's cool to finally see
people getting paid not having to go to college.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like this guy was able to finally make.
It's like the JBL kind of shit.
But actually getting paid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's shit. But I mean, the intentions were good. But they fucked that off. I think it was dude that stole from them. Fucked that off.
I think the idea that they had for the JBL.
Mind you, the JBL was the big baller, the Junior Basketball League. It was LeVar Ball put it on, and all that shit. And honestly, around that time where players were bitching about not getting paid or receiving their.
The thing is now
is Allen, LeVar's business partner, actually got arrested and I think he went to prison for stealing millions from Lonzo and LeVar. So I wonder if that has anything to do with the JBL not paying his players. But
probably.
But now, they were trendsetters.
Yeah,
they were frontier.
The big question is now that college athletes can make money off their name. Mm-hmm. Are you going to make, as Jalen Green, right? As that guy who went straight to the G League, would you make more money in the G League?
If he was that good, no. If he's
or as a 5-star high school prospect going to North Carolina or Duke
Kentucky,
or Oregon, or all these big name schools. Mm-hmm. Oregon's not a huge basketball school, but whatever. Would you make endorsement wise more than going to the G League?
Yeah, I mean,
plus on top of you get a scholarship, so you get some school under your belt,
and you can choose to run with that or not, or when you get if you make the league,
exactly,
go back and pay or whatever. But I mean, I just showed you a story across the table where Mikey Williams, high school hoops phenomenon, signs a what's that? NIL. What's that?
Uh,
A deal with Nike, or is it Nike? It signed an NIL. Sorry, deal poised to make millions. 17-year-old with a huge social media following.
Yeah.
And since the NCAA players can be paid for endorsements, he just signed a deal that's going to make millions.
No. NIL stands for name, image, likeness.
Oh shit! So
I've been seeing. I was trying to process it in my brain because I've been seeing it everywhere. Because a lot of these guys, it's what everybody's been signing. It's literally like this guy signs an NIL, and I was like, what is it? What is it? It's name, image, likeness. So now that deal that he sold, whoever he sold it to can now use his name, his
movies,
image, and his
music,
likeness.
anything, posters, autographs,
anything. Yeah.
But did he sell that for an upfront fee, and now he has no control over it, and he doesn't own a shit? Like Dave Chappelle, that contract he signed when he was young.
Comedy Central or whatever?
Yeah, he didn't even own his own name.
No, that's the thing is, and that's another big issue with these college kids. Are they gonna, for some of these kids who come from nothing,
poverty-stricken and shit,
say I roll in and say, hey, look, bro, I got $100K.
Yeah.
Right now, sign the dotted line. I get to use your name, your pictures,
you can't.
Everything.
And you cannot.
I control that.
And if you do, I get a cut
for the next 3 years
or forever.
Whatever the deal is. And that kid's like, bro, $100K.
Yeah, but that'll help my mom, my dad, whatever.
And then they sign that deal, and all of a sudden, they blow up. And I'm over here on a 60-40 split, and they're on the 40 end.
Yeah. Getting fucked.
And they're just getting destroyed, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Legally, yeah. Well, it says Williams is one of the top-ranked players in his class. Mind you, he's the first high school player to sign this deal. So, unless he's... What's the word when you're a minor but you can become an adult or emancipated? Then his parents most likely would have signed
that's like Kobe. When Kobe got drafted, technically he was a minor.
His mom had to sign, or his parents had to sign.
Yeah, his parents had to sign his contract.
So it says he's got 3.2 million followers on Instagram alone. That's crazy.
Ooh.
That's huge. Now the NCAA and most states allow college athletes to make money off their name, image, and likeness. Mikey has followed up by becoming the very first high school athlete to sign a NIL, name, image, and likeness deal, teaming up with Excel Sports, an agency that works with superstar athletes like Tiger Woods, Nikola Jokic, and Clayton Kershaw.
Okay, so at least they're a reputable company.
Absolutely.
Because Tiger Woods ain't going to sign with some random-ass company.
None of these guys are. Clayton
Jokic?
Kershaw?
No.
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw? No.
And the credit goes to TMZ for the story, by the way. TMZ Sports. But it says the deal will help the Vertical Academy junior guard secure endorsements and sponsorships way before he makes it to the college level. An XL VP, Matt Davis, tells ESPN the partnership will generate millions of dollars for this young man. So go ahead and speak on it. I'm gonna read this and see if there's any cons in this story.
So that's my question is, now that we allow college athletes who are grown adults, if you're 18,
or signed off by their parents.
Well, I mean, if you're a freshman in college, you're 18.
Well, yeah, but he's high school. But yes, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. So at 18, you're legally, mentally, we can go into that argument, whatever. But legally, you're seen as an adult at 18. So you're making decisions based on endorsements, blah, 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 all this. Are we going to start seeing, because he's a junior. That's what you just read. He's a junior player.
Yeah.
So that means he not only has this season, but one following season in high school.
With 3.2 million followers on IG. Holy shit.
Hey.
Mikey Williams, shout out.
Shout out. That's a grind, bro.
Yes.
If you at 17, a junior in high school, when you got that many, hey, respect. What I'm saying is,
crazy.
Should we allow high school athletes to sign endorsement deals? That's my question. Should we allow minors to sign endorsement deals where you got this high school kid rocking Jordans because he's paid $100K a year to rock Jordan shoes in a basketball game?
Why not?
That's. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I'm being the devil's advocate.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Should we allow 16-year-olds to sign into these contracts because? And I'm not saying that these. There's going to be parents that use their kids. That's my point.
Liken this to actors, child actors.
Oh, 100%.
Child actors get used, but legally they're
Britney
supposed
Spears.
Right, still. I mean, what's
Free
his
Britney.
name? What's his name? That was in the Transformers movies. The kid
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, dude.
Just do it.
Or hey, just all of child actors.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to have an account that goes for expenses for the parents to use for their expenses, but they're supposed to have a separate account legally that is their earnings go into. But I think that law was just passed recently
yeah.
passed, like within the last 10 or 15 years. But for since the age of media, social media, not just social media, movies, radio, all that shit, there was no laws. The parents owned your NIL name, image and likeness, and I think Macaulay Culkin, he took his parents to court and got emancipated and sued his parents. Or fucking name one. They all have sued and got emancipated. A lot of them have. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and that's my point. We're by allowing high school athletes to be sponsored, we're opening more kids to be used by their parents for money.
Well, make it legally. Do it the right way. Legally, do it the right way. Make it a
That's
law.
my thing. Is like, are we going to allow these kids? And we've seen kids who are high school athletes who ball out and get injured and never go to college, or go to college and get injured and never go pro. So are we? I believe we should allow them to benefit off their talents as soon as someone's willing to give them money for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like you said, actors, singers, rappers.
Just celebrities or anybody who has talent in any way.
I mean, how Bow Wow was buying cars before he could drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like his first cribs.
Yeah. He had a Ferrari.
He had cars with his name embroidered in the headrest that he legally couldn't drive.
And he didn't. Well, supposedly didn't. Yeah. So who's letting them make all these dumb decisions, you know?
And so that's
they need to have a financial fucking financial advisor. Almost like a financial advisor that specializes in minors. You feel me?
Oh, 100%. I think
that can mediate between the parents and the kids.
I think the businesses, not the parents and not the kids, obviously, because they don't have the money. Not everyone.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't have the money.
Or the mind.
Or the mindset or whatever. I think it should be an obligation on the businesses
They should have to pay for that shit.
They should have a financial advisor, a third-party financial advisor.
But even with that, there's always going to be fucking.
Oh, I know. It's all backdoor deals and.
Yeah, but still, yes, there should be some party that has to be included. Whether it's a family member that has that is looking to do the best for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It's a hard situation.
Or tell me there's not a way to say, hey, look, if you're under 18 and you sign this deal, you get 30% now.
Or whatever, whatever percentage.
Whatever, and I'm saying this should be...
Like an Allen Iverson deal with Reebok? Where he gets $50 million when he turns 55?
Or that... I can't think of the baseball player's name.
Oh, I know you're
From
talking
the
about.
Mets.
Yes,
greatest contract of all time.
Yes.
Guy gets so many millions every... It just happened, actually. It wasn't that long ago. I saw it pop up on Facebook saying...
It always pops
happy...
up. Always.
Okay,
it's not the Nets. It's Mets.
It's the Mets,
You said Mets, didn't you? Anyways.
But that's my thing. So
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so what is it? Oh, it's July 1st. Every year he gets paid $1.19 million until 2035.
And that was because they wanted to sign him and didn't have the capital or the back end to do it. So they gave him a front end deal. Or no. Sorry, they didn't have the front end to do it. So they loaded the back end and said, hey, we want you. But we are about to hit penalty on the salary cap for MLB. They can go over salary cap, but there's penalty that they have to pay. And since we can't do it, we're loaded with this, that, and the third, we'll pay you we'll pay you a good amount on the front end, but we're going to sign a contract. And this was back in what, the 90s?
Yeah, well, and he came to the conclusion, he's like, well, why don't you just pay me this after I retire, just continue the payments so that it doesn't affect your cap or doesn't affect your money now.
He was smarter. And now he's been this deal went down somewhere in the 90s.
Well, how old is he now?
Here, you want to look at the story? Go ahead.
Yeah, he's like been retired.
He's like in his 50s.
Oh, he quit baseball in 2001.
And he's going to get paid till 2035?
2035.
Think about that. That's a fucking retirement plan. Haven't played baseball for 20 years, but you're still getting paid over $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in his 50s, right? Am I wrong? I think so.
Oh, yeah.
They call it Bobby Vanilla Day every year. Like, we have the 4th of July. The MLB has Bobby Vanilla Day. What day is that?
July 1st.
July 1st.
So he's 58 right now.
Jesus.
So we're in 2021. So that means 14 years from now, his final payment will be made. So he will be 72 years old.
If he's still alive. And his family will get those payments if he's not.
Whoever's beneficiary is.
Yeah, we'll get his estate.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is there should be something set up.
Just like that.
And it shouldn't be like
to a similar sense.
Case-by-case basis or whatever. No, it should be set into... It should be an obligation for these contracts. Not for college kids. I'm not saying for these adults. I'm saying for these high school kids that enter these. It should be like a 40% up front or 30 years. Even if it's a 50-50 split, I don't care. There needs to be money set aside into a trust that says these high school kids can't touch it until either they graduate college or they hit a certain age.
Well, again,
and I'm not saying like 30. I'm not saying super old. Yeah. I'm saying like 24, 22.
Or every 5 years they get a chunk. Like, look at AI. Allen Iverson was an adult, right? And he got that contract with Reebok.
Yeah.
And they said it to where, he was getting paid so much up front on the front end, but they have a deal on the back end that he gets, was it 35 or 55 million when he turns 50 or something?
Yeah.
Or 55. And, he's gone broke a couple times already, but when he turns 55, like, he's going to be blessed with that in a sense, And he was a grown-ass man when he signed these contracts.
Yeah.
Like, it just... when you take somebody out of poverty, the hood, the ghetto, or not even that, when you take somebody that, even in blue-collar, white-collar, whatever it is, that, has been blessed with an athletic attribute that never had to work because they were always training and playing their whole life, or getting handouts or whatever... They don't know about financial literacy, responsibility.
Yeah, so that's not something that comes naturally.
No.
It's a taught thing.
We talked about this last episode before, or maybe we talked about it before, one of the episodes, about the NFL with the rookie symposium.
Yeah, there's like ex-players come in, current players come in, financial advisors come in, and they just try. I think the NBA might do something too.
Yeah, I believe so.
And they talk to you about
they have a conference
scams that happen. Like, there's been so many athletes who get caught in these real estate scams and so there's all these people that come in.
Your favorite athlete has been scammed out of at least a couple million.
Terrell Owens.
Yes, he lost everything.
Bad, lost lots.
There's a lot more.
And then you have guys like Shaq, where he got his money and spent a bunch, and his agent or someone called him and was like...
The bank manager.
Oh, that's who it was. Bank manager called him was like, what the fuck are you spending your money on?
Yeah, you spent more than you had. He didn't understand taxes. Bought himself a Mercedes, his dad a Mercedes, then his mom Mercedes.
Yeah.
He had $1 million signing bonus and spent 1.6. And he said, thank God that bank manager was friends with the family, or else I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
But they established a financial advisor for him. The bank did. Said, no, you need to talk to this guy. And now,
now Shaq's a business mode.
Well, and speaking of, like...
Part owner of professional teams.
He owns... he's on the board and part owner of Papa John's Pizza. He owns Krispy Kremes. I think he owns...
He owns part of the Kings, too.
Yeah, he does. He owns 40 or no, I think it was 300 and something Five Guys restaurants, not to include his Kmart sponsor or deals, the General, Icy Hot.
Yeah.
But we're speaking of athletes and money, so we all know Michael Jordan is the first athlete billionaire ever, right?
Yeah.
Who was the first active? Just broke news this last couple of days.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Big. The first active athlete to reach $1 billion.
LeJean Brames.
The best actor ever to live.
No.
LBJ, LeBron James, the king.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Which is crazy if you look at the number split. If you've looked at it, I think it's.
I haven't looked at it.
300 million of it is from NBA money, like contractual money.
Which is huge, but yeah.
700 million of it is from endorsements.
Well, he signed a $1 billion contract with Nike straight out of high school to be he signed a lifetime deal. He can never say Nike's fucking me. I'm leaving Nike and I'm signing with Adidas, or
you mean if they call him the wrong name?
Yeah. Like they did to Steph. Like it was a Nike did Steph.
Yeah.
Steph went to under now just like Jordan is a subset of Nike where he was on Nike. That's why you see the retros are Nike Air Jordans. Yeah. Nike Air Jordans, and then he's got his subset of just Jordan brand. Well, Stephen Curry II, he was Nike, right?
He was Nike, and then they mispronounced his name in a meeting.
And he left.
And he left to go to Under Armour.
Under Armour, and he's obviously the face, even though there's Cam Newton, Tom Brady. Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Tony Romo was there's more Under Armour athletes. But obviously you think Under Armour and athlete, you think of Steph Curry. Now, just like Jordan had a subset, the Nike Air Jordans, Steph had the Curry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7s. Now he has his own shoe. Like Jordan has Jordan whatever, Now Steph has the Curry brand. Curry brand. Now they're still backed and distributed and made by Under Armour, but it's his own subset.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But go ahead back to why does LeBron not have just his own subset with Nike? You'd think that would have happened already, especially with him being the face of the franchise,
Signing a lifetime deal. I don't know, to be honest.
That's weird. Maybe he just hasn't done that.
Do you think...
Or maybe he hasn't pushed for it.
Well, my thing is, do you think he affected the game in the way that either Jordan or Curry did?
I don't believe so. I think he keeps viewers watching,
but
I don't think he brought new in.
My thing is, and we can argue goats, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. But Jordan came in a time where the NBA wasn't much.
No. It's not like the ratings were dipping. They just never were high.
And then he brought, and this isn't my opinion.
This has been
facts. Stated.
Facts.
He brought not only basketball worldwide, but the shoe game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys used to wear Converse and all these other things and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's, for some reason, it's the culture that he did, the games he played, and how worldwide he was.
And how much of, he did, how big he, how good he was.
His shoes just blew up.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian, does not matter.
Oh,
everybody has a pair of Jordans or wants a pair of Jordans.
Exactly.
Sorry, 99% of the people.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you don't want them, you still see their resale.
Yeah.
And you see how crazy everything
how
is.
Yeezys are now. Kanye's done that with Adidas.
Yeah.
He brought them back to life because they were going down,
Well, and so that's my thing is LeBron
that cultural?
Because that's the thing is Kobe was with Nike.
Yeah.
And Kobe never...
He was Adidas at first.
He was.
Mind you, Adidas, now that Kobe, his estate is a free agent because his wife, Vanessa, did not re-sign with Nike.
Yeah.
We discussed that. Well, Adidas is relaunching two of his shoes from when he was with Adidas. The Crazy Ones and the Crazy 6s, from when he first signed with Adidas, they're releasing 2 of his
colorways.
His 2 different shoes. 2 different styles. But when he was with Adidas, because now he's a free agent, they can, because Nike doesn't own his NIL for shoes or branding. But sorry, go ahead.
Well, my thing is, Kobe had started. Kobe was like on that cusp of having, like, he had his own logo and he had all, and it was moving to a point where I think Kobe might have gotten to that point.
Yeah.
But Kobe, obviously, R.I.P., passed away.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And then
Kobe B. Bryant.
And then Nike decided to do some things that Vanessa didn't like.
Like, overprice his shit. As soon as he died, everything, his jerseys,
start limiting
his shoes,
shit,
limited,
to drive the price up.
The day I checked, the day after he was, all over the media that he passed away, like it was facts. I went on, and his shoes that were going for $100 were now going for $320. Not on resale sites, on fucking Nike.com. His shoes jumped up like $150 to $200. His jerseys on the NBA store, being Nike jerseys, jumped the same, if not more. Yeah, they price gouged.
And so she wasn't happy with that.
No, she don't want limited. Yeah.
He didn't want
Kobe
limited.
didn't, yeah. And
she respected
He
that.
wanted semi-affordable.
And she respected that. And so I think, personally, he was right on the edge of having that. His own subsection of Nike, like Jordan was.
Having, like, Mamba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has his
whole brand deal.
His brand logo, and he has clothes.
Yep.
And
I own a Mamba Academy shirt.
And so I think that was where they were headed. Obviously now Vanessa's a free agent.
Well, she
shopping. She honestly, I saw something that she really wants to start. She wants to pull a big baller.
Damn.
And start her own brand.
But do you think she has that in her? Because the shoe game is supposedly
It's
hardest
hard.
apparel game to get into. It's the most expensive to create, and profits are it can be so little.
Well, and that's
and now that the United States is pulling embargoes from China or whatever the word is, it's going to be even harder.
Well, and that's the thing is, we all see. I mean, there's some people who ordered big ballers that still haven't got the shoes.
Yeah, they're not going to, but yeah.
And for those of you, if you're listening, you ain't getting the motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because they
tell your bank it's fraud and get your money back.
Yeah, if you ain't already got your money back, hey, 90-day return policy over, cuz you fucked.
Yeah. Well, then you just sell that shit with the big baller and just stay on his nutsack.
And but that's the thing is, like, they realized how much money. Like, because in the grand scheme, you're like, oh, making shoes would be dope to have my own shoe brand. Yeah. Fuck Nike, fuck this, fuck that. I want to cut my own path. And then you're like, fuck, it's expensive. And that's like people who think they can do their own restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I could do it way better. And then you're like, fuck.
Yeah, the profits of a restaurant are bare. It's like one of the smallest profits for a business.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Or, like, if you ever watch Shark Tank and people try to get into, like the
snack market and shit.
The snack market or the drink market in general.
Yeah.
Like, literally, there's a guy on there who has been on the board for, like, Powerade and all these big drinks, and he's like, nah, I don't fuck with the drink market.
Yeah.
And he was, like, on the board for these huge drink companies because he understands, like, how expensive and how hard it is to even get shelf space. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's how the shoe market is.
Speaking of drink market, did you know that Kobe, I didn't know this until after his, post.
I didn't know. I think I know
his body armor?
Yeah.
Huge
investment.
He invested like $1 million in body armor, and now his share is like fucking almost it's a few $100 million or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, Vanessa's share, I should say now, or the Bryant family. That's crazy.
So, fun fact: I had never drank one, never had drinking one, and then when
my kids and wife love them, they have.
So 2 years ago now, essentially, my wife gave birth to our final kid.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And she was trying to breastfeed, and on one of her mom pages, the moms are swearing by it. Mm-hmm. Body Armor will help. Body Armor will help. Literally, like, swearing by it. So she started buying it, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna try it, right? I tried it, and I was like, this shit's pretty good.
Yeah. If it's in the fridge.
It's super high in sugar.
Yeah.
So if you're like, well, I mean, if we're really getting into a Gatorade super high,
If you're diabetic, it's not for you.
or if you're just trying to watch what you're intaking, probably not the greatest. I know that Body Armor does have a low sugar option now. I don't think they had it a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's good. And then when Kobe passed away, and then I saw that come up, and I was like, because he was like an angel investor with like one of their first investors.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He was so ahead of his time, bro. Dude, we could have a fucking 12-hour podcast.
Hey, fuck you, Shannon Sharp.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. To speak on that, fuck Shannon Sharp, and that's coming from Big Mike's a fucking Broncos fan.
Die hard
through and through.
Shannon Sharp,
Great
amazing
player.
tight end, amazing player.
Well, just like Chris Paul, amazing point guard, fucking weasel.
Analyst,
LeBron James,
Shannon Sharp?
amazing player, fucking floppy acting ass mother. Anyways, go ahead.
Shannon Sharp talking out the side of his mouth.
He
Saying,
was probably on a Haney hand in the black mile, bro.
probably on a primetime country as
No, he drinks hand and smokes black and milds.
smoking the
No,
prime
he
time.
shares that shit on IG with his do-rag on and shit. For real. Swear to God.
But for real though, Shannon stepped out and said, and some of you may have seen it.
This is
kind of
blasphemous. More
said that-
blasphemous than fucking Stephen A.
He said Kobe is not a top 5 NBA player all time.
Bullshit.
Based on he only had, and this is his whole basis, is that Kobe only has one MVP and not multiple.
Season MVP, yeah.
And so he's
been flamed on
yeah,
social
they are
media.
lighting him up on Twitter.
As are we.
And he said, and his whole thing was his criteria, which if you have a certain criteria that you judge, whatever, that's on you. But stick to it.
Yeah.
And me and Blizz before this watched a YouTube video where a guy brought up.
I don't know. What's that YouTuber's name? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Right. Well, I'd like to give credit to, but yeah. Anyways.
He brought up the stats, and Shannon Sharp is a very big proponent of LeBron James being the GOAT. But if accolades are the reason that he thinks people are the GOAT,
Which he says they are. That's what he goes by.
his tweet is MVPs, championships, finals MVPs, and it was just a list of accolades that he looks at.
LeBron does not meet that criteria.
Jordan would meet that criteria. Jordan has 6 MVPs.
Yep. His 6 finals MVPs, went to 6 finals, won 6 finals, never lost.
So
Was
why
it
is
4 or 5 season MVPs?
I think it's 5 season MVPs.
3 or 4 defensive player of the year.
Like, well, that's the thing is, so
All-star, yeah.
So let's, and we're not even talking. We're not
Dunk
even.
champion, you know.
Yeah, we're not going to bring up the other guys who have 11 rings. Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, who's auctioning his shit off.
Yeah. On a
For
side
you
note,
guys.
Bill Russell is auctioning most of his stuff off.
Like 90% of it.
He's going to keep a couple things, but I think he's realizing he's at that point in his life where he doesn't need it anymore.
And he knows that if you pass it off to generation after generation, they're not going to really care about it.
They're probably going to sell it anyway.
For like what Vince Wilfork kid. Yeah.
So back to Shannon Sharp.
But he's auctioning off and giving to charity.
Two
in the
different
greater
charities.
Boston area.
Yeah.
And then a national or international charity as well.
Yeah.
So
and
salute to you, Bill Russell.
Facts.
One of the GOATs.
But Shannon Sharp's thinking, if you're going off of his criteria, shouldn't LeBron
should be not on the top 5.
Not even in top, yeah. So, and if that's your criteria, cool.
But stick with that shit. Own it.
LeBron's not top 5.
No.
Means Kobe's not top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, is Jordan? I mean, in his criteria, is Jordan even the GOAT?
Well, but not only that, but his criteria it wouldn't put Kobe or LeBron in even the top 5. That's what his criteria is. That he says they have to have this, 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 and this, and then LeBron is his GOAT. He says LeBron's number 1, and LeBron matches none of his criteria.
LeBron
What
has
the fuck?
LeBron has multiple MVPs and stuff, but if
Yeah.
you match him up against other
Has he
guys,
ever won Defensive Player of the Year? I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think so. But what I'm saying is, if you match him up, just even head to head with Jordan wins
Everything.
everything.
Yeah. He's never lost in the finals.
But but LeBron's the GOAT to Shannon Sharpe. So, Shannon Sharpe, if you ever hear this,
fuck you. I said it.
Hey, you gotta stick to your guns. This ain't flip-flopping back and forth.
And Blizzy said, fuck you.
Like, I respect you on the gridiron, but stick to the gridiron.
Yeah. Everywhere else, fuck you.
Like, I saw something that said football players shouldn't speak on basketball. Hey.
That's my thing. Why would they take an athlete, Hall of Famer, or a great athlete from one sport and have them on a syndicated sports channel that speaks on the 4 big sports? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
crazy.
I don't know.
It's shit's wild. But, freaking, so yeah, Giannis won Finals MVP. We went over that. Should we jump into the NFL? The new COVID regulation. Big, I told you about this before the podcast, right?
Yeah.
NFL put out a statement, and I'm not even paraphrasing. I'm just off the top of my head trying to remember what they said exactly. But to a certain extent, it said something to the effect that teams that have COVID outbreaks this season will be automatically forfeited. So the NFL is trying to get all the players and coaches and staff and front office in line to get vaccinated. But the teams that have COVID outbreaks, their game will be automatically forfeited and not rescheduled. So you guys, most of you are aware that we're going into a 17-game season. So 18 weeks, because of the bye week. So there would not be an 18th game for rescheduling. So say the Steelers are playing the Dolphins. If the Dolphins have an outbreak of COVID, which, that would be a city that you would think that might happen, the partying nightclubs, the game's forfeited. The team that has a COVID outbreak, being the Dolphins, would forfeit the game and take an L, and the Steelers would take a W. But the catch is, neither team will be paid for that game. Now, mind you, if you're an athlete and you have a contract, say it's 17. I just throwing shit out there. Say it's $17 million a season. That means you get $1 million per game. Now, if the team you're on has a COVID outbreak and forfeits, or the team that you're on plays against the team that, or was supposed to play against the team that forfeits, you guys lose $1 million. Each player loses $1 million, which is fucking wild. I think the team that has a COVID outbreak, I don't think there should be no penalties, but you would think the one that had the outbreak would be penalized.
Yeah,
not the team they're going against.
So I'm reading this thing. I looked it up real quick.
Okay.
So it's saying in a memo sent to the clubs, it says if the games cannot be rescheduled during the 18th week of the season.
Well, the NFL did say that they're not planning to reschedule in the 18th week as well. But go ahead, sorry.
So the report that's saying that the NFL sent to all of the teams said that if it cannot be rescheduled during the 18th week due to COVID, this says due to a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players. So if does that mean if a vaccinated player tests positive, this doesn't matter? That's how it's reading. This only applies if it's an unvaccinated player. But we'll continue. The team will forfeit and be credited a loss if it cannot be rescheduled.
Yeah.
Due to an unvaccinated player.
Yeah.
Because if you're vaccinated, you technically can still get it.
So they said they can still get paid?
So this is what it says.
Okay.
In addition, players from both teams will not be paid for the lost contest.
Exactly.
And the team that is responsible for the canceled game due to unvaccinated players.
Yeah.
So again, it's coming back to what happens if a vaccinated player gets it.
They're trying to, but what it seems to be is the league is trying to bully.
Oh, 100%.
Everybody to get vaccinated.
So the team that is responsible for the cancellation will cover all financial losses and be
for
subject
travel and all that shit. Holy fuck.
And will be subject to potential discipline from the commissioner's office. And we already know how he runs shit over there.
Yeah.
He's going to be handing down fines.
An iron fucking fist.
So last year the NFL bent over backwards to rework schedules. They're not going to do it this year. They will not be adding a 19th week to reschedule games.
That's
so they will add. They will try to reschedule in the 18th week.
Gotcha.
But if not,
so only so many teams can be rescheduled into that. You know what I'm saying? So which is crazy. So people don't get paid. The team that had the outbreak has to cover expenses. So basically, in my opinion, they're trying to bully every team into forcing vaccinations. With that being said,
it's funny because it says the league insisted that it is not mandating vaccinations.
Seems to me like
but specific restrictions are in place for non-vaccinated players.
Big Mike, you know what that sounds to me like? When you tell your girl, "Hey, I'm gonna go with the boys. You're good? Yeah, do you? Go ahead." Like, no, we good? Or, hey, are you okay? I'm good. Are you okay? Yeah. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. And I go through this with my wife. Okay, well, listen, I've asked you 11 times, so I'm not going to ask you again. You had your opportunity to speak on it. If there's no problem, then there's no problem. Don't bring it up. Okay, I'm going to work. Love you. I get to work. I get fucking 30 fucking text messages, because only one paragraph fit in each one, about everything and anything I've ever done under the sun, even before she knew me. She's not that bad. I'm just... Disclaimer, my wife. I love my wife. She's great. Please don't hit me, Maxine. Anyways, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like, no, you're good. Do you, boo? No, you're good. Do you, boo? And then you go out and you do. You do. Not even do you. You just kind of like, you're dancing and there's a female in the same fucking establishment. Oh, you fucking her. How'd that feel? Like, what? Wait, what? You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know her name.
That's what the commissioner sounds like to me. No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
So
you're bad.
I had a supervisor for the longest time. They'd offer trainings, and I'd be like, "Is it mandatory?"
Yes.
And they would be like,
"No,
it's as." They would say it's as mandatory as not mandatory can be, which means.
Come again, say what?
They want. It's not. They can't get mad at you if you don't do it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna look at you different if you don't. It's one of those things like, if you're looking for a promotion, you better be at the training.
That's like this how females work, bro. Do you? What do I don't know. Do my hands.
Right.
It's like that. What men know about women. It's a fucking 10-foot book of nothing. That's just wild. But with that being said, the NFL and the front office are fucking ridiculous.
Do you want to hear their actual numbers real fast?
Do I have a choice? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
It says that they've reported
73%.
78% of players league-wide have had at least one shot.
Yeah.
And 14 of the 32 clubs are at over 80% vaccinated.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
But if you average it out between the 32 teams, over 50% of each team are vaccinated.
Yeah, over 50%. I would say if they were like, it's about 50, it doesn't make sense. The numbers don't add up. But you can say over 50%. That can mean 50.5, or that can mean 99.9.
Yeah. So it says
the league is just trying to fucking appease everybody with that statement.
They said they're pleased with those numbers, but not satisfied.
Exactly.
We want to see them to go up.
Yeah, they want 110%.
Those rates are well above the rest of society and above the same age group as most of our players. So
sounds like Donald Trump's the commissioner. We have the biggest number, best number ever. No. So, with that being said, Hopkins, right?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins said that if the NFL mandates or forces a vaccine, saying that if they're saying you have to be vaccinated or you cannot play, yada yada yada, he is going to retire. DeAndre motherfucking Hopkins, still in his prime in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's threatening to retire before getting that vaccination. And I know that we might, I can't say no. I'm sure we might have listeners or viewers on each side of the spectrum of pro or anti-vaccination. And my whole thing is, I'm not anti-vaccination with the COVID vaccination. I'm anti now. I want it to be backed by the FDA and more studies to be done. When that is tried and true, then I have no problem getting the vaccination. But until then, I do not want it, and I am not getting it.
I'm gonna say
I'm not
this.
doing it.
I'm gonna say this.
I understand if anybody I know, love, respect, whatever, anybody, fucking public, strangers, if you decide to get it, I don't hold that against you. That's your right. Hey,
do you? Woo-woo.
One of our best friends, our best friend David, he got vaccinated, because he didn't want to have to wear masks at work. And I never questioned. I asked him just because I'm curious why, and he was like, because I just didn't want to have to wear a mask at work. What he does, a lot of times it's hard to breathe doing that shit, and I get it. And I never was like, oh, you're stupid or you shouldn't have done it, blah blah. But I also didn't say, oh, that's a good thing. I'm just like, okay, hey, I get it. I'm just a sponge. I'm just asking questions because I want to soak information up. Me personally, I'm not going to do it. Won't do it. My kids will not. I know my wife has said she's not going to do it. My coworkers will not do it until it's more scientifically studied and proven, and there's an FDA backing it.
Well, that's the thing is, and I agree with that, but do you want to be 10 years down the road and be like, hey, if you got that first round of Pfizer and you were experiencing these symptoms, you can be part of this lawsuit?
I'd love to be part of the lawsuit and get some money, but I hope I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, it's a catch-22.
My big thing is, I don't get the flu shot.
Yeah.
Every year.
And you usually don't get the flu either.
And I really don't get sick.
Yeah.
I work with kids.
Snot-nosed motherfuckers. Elementary school.
And so, like, this COVID vaccine they're talking about is going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense. Then it shouldn't be a vaccine. A vaccine is usually 1 or 2, and you're good. A yearly thing is a fucking flu shot.
And so
it's a flu shot. It's not a fucking vaccine.
And so that's my thing is, if I'm not going to get the flu shot, which has been around forever, and my family get it, my kids get it and everything, but like, I'm at the point, like, I'm a grown adult, I don't get the flu, so why do I need the flu shot?
And if you do, then you fucking tough it out.
And
the mortality rate of COVID is 1%. I know we're not getting politics on this channel, but the flu death rate is higher than COVID.
And my biggest thing is, if you fall into that category that is a high risk.
Absolutely. Do you, Will?
Elderly, whatever, you got other things going
on.
Health
issues, all that bullshit.
Get the vaccine.
If you choose to.
If you choose to. Stay inside. Wear a mask. I wear a mask when I'm required to.
Absolutely.
At work.
When you're mandated to, yes.
I mean, really, that's the only place I'm mandated to at this point in time. Is
really?
work.
I go to stores, I don't have a mask. Now, if I enter a store, say, I took my daughter to the dentist.
Hospital. So medical places still required.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, anywhere I go. Now, if I go to Walmart, they're like, policy, for our store policy, you have to. Okay, well, that's your store policy. I'm not like, well, California government says no. But, okay, if that's the store's policy, it is what it is.
Which, FYI, I heard that Walmart may be reverting to that policy again.
Which is what it is.
And that's the thing is,
if I don't like it, then I can walk the fuck out and go to Food Max.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing is,
I'm not going to sit there and cry like a fucking Karen or a Kyle.
No, that's the thing is, if they say, hey, look, you can't enter my establishment without a mask, guess what? I don't own that business.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to run your business.
Yep. I either go grab the mask from the car, or I go get in the car and I fuck off.
Exactly. Because my dollars, especially at like big companies like that, ain't gonna make or break Walmart.
Hell no.
These mom and pop places, that's where your money makes or breaks some people.
Yeah, if you have a smaller group, yeah. But I mean, like, that's what I'm saying about all these Karen videos on fucking YouTube and shit. Like, they said it's store policy, then either put it on or fuck the fuck off. Eat their sack. Like,
exactly.
It's not like California said we don't have to wear it. Okay, but these are private businesses. Whether they have, they're publicly traded, it doesn't matter. Like Costco, people are like, why don't you show my receipt? Well, because you signed a fucking contract to be a member. Your card you're a card-carrying member. Like if you're a part of the Elks Club or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a card-carrying member. You agreed to the rules in the contract. Walmart, they can't legally force you to show a receipt. They could ask for it. You can tell them no, thank you, or ignore them and walk by like I do half the time. Or if they get fucking in your face, go eat a sack, bro. Fuck you.
Well, see, that's like me half the time. I either don't show them, or I'm just like, who the fuck cares? Look at my receipt. Because it doesn't bug me.
Right?
If I'm in a hurry, I'm not going to slow down. Or if there's hella people.
Yeah, I'm going around them. Like, dude, fuck out of here.
I'm not
This
waiting
is not fucking Costco. I didn't sign a contract.
Well, the thing is, even in Costco, like, even on a busy day at Costco, there's not a fucking 13-person line to get out the door.
Because everybody understands that nobody bitches. They just do what they need to do.
And so that's my thing is, if I'm walking out the door and it's just like the dude's like, "Hey, can I see your receipt?" and if I don't have it available,
if it's handy, yes.
If it's stuck in a bag or I fucking didn't grab it off the self checkout thing because I fucking
shove it up your asshole,
I'm just gonna be like, "Deuces, bro."
Yeah.
But like if it's in my hand,
yeah,
and I hand it to you, because I mean, let's be honest. Are those Walmart employees really hard checking you?
No. 90% of them are like, fucking hate my life.
90% of them grab that fucking receipt, take their highlighter, and hit the bottom of it and say, have a good day.
They don't even look at it. Okay, he's got one. You could bring one in from 4 fucking transactions ago.
I think, honestly, the only thing they check
is if you have shit that's not bagged. Big items.
Well, that and timestamps. So, like, I think they check the timestamp. So if it's like 2 hours or yesterday.
That makes sense. I never thought about that.
Because when I worked at Home Depot, people would do that.
Yeah.
Where they would literally go into the trash can outside, and then they would come inside and grab the exact items that are on that receipt.
Fucking methods.
And then they would try to return them.
Makes sense.
Or they would try to take them or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, I think 90%...
If they check,
most of them are like, is this today? Mm-hmm. And is it within the last 10 minutes?
It's like working with the bar, the club, checking IDs in a sense.
Yeah.
I get it. But what do you think about Hopkins about threatening to retire? I understand. If it's forced. But then again, it goes back to like Walmart. If it's a public or a private sector or a business, hey, that's in your contract. Well, that's why he didn't say he would retire. I get it.
He's not going to fight it.
No,
he can't because he knows he can't. Mm-hmm. But he's going to retire. And see, that's the thing is, if I had the money and my job was like, hey, vaccine or bust, I'm going to bounce out. Because I don't want to get it.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I'm not financially where D-Hop is.
Yeah, no way.
I can't say, oh, you want me to wear a mask at work and get a vaccine? Nah, thanks, fam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not at that point. So if my job was like, hey, bro, you got to get this or you got to bounce, I'm at a point where...
Yeah, it's a hard one. You still have to think about, talk that with the family.
I mean, I would just go get it because I'm at a point where I'm like...
See, my job, I wouldn't. Because all my coworkers wouldn't. And the job I work, the fucking turnover rate's so high that they're fighting to keep people or get people. And not just COVID. Pre-COVID, it's just the job I do. You cannot keep workers, especially for my shift. And all my coworkers are anti-vaccine. That the owner has already asked and like said, oh, we need everybody to be vaccinated by blah blah blah, and everybody was like, no, fuck you, fam, not happening. We don't agree with it at the moment. We're anti-vaccine. We're anti-now vaccine.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing.
And she's like, okay, fam, my bad. And she's like 70. But anyways.
Well, see, that's like with me, it's hard because like I have a lot of money into retirement.
Well, you work with children, snot-nosed kids who are around their families and their families' families, and your shit's it's crazy. With
and
what
so
you
like
do.
if they want to say that, and then it's like, do you throw away 10 years worth of retirement?
Right.
And then, you know what I mean? Like, it's different because like yeah, I'm at a place where it's cool.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not at a place where I can just say I'm retiring right now.
Where you put that much time in, or you're wealthy.
And D-Hop's at that point where he can just be like, what? Oh, fuck you, money, because that's what I got.
Deuces, cut.
And he could just bounce out right into the sunset, retire, and still make his money.
Right. Well, hey, speaking of illness or whatever, we missed a key part. I want to say R.I.P. Biz Markie. I know he passed away about a few days, a week ago. But Biz Markie, one of the hip hop legends from New York, all that shit. You say he's just a friend. R.I.P. Fucking legend. But kind of a shitty transition. But the assistant coach for the New York Jets, Greg Knapp, passed away, I believe, today or yesterday. He was riding his bike and got hit by a car. 58 years old, assistant coach for the New York Jets. R.I.P. to Greg Knapp as well. Yeah. So just wanted to touch on those things and show our condolences and show our respect. Sorry to the family. I know you guys probably you will never know of this podcast. But either way, put that out there in the air, With that being said, with football, you want to touch on Richard Sherman? Like he touched on that door?
Yeah, I mean, that ring video was tough.
And his fucking in-laws released that the day after, which makes it even more tough.
Yeah.
Or ex-in-laws. That's a hard one, bro.
Yeah, the chief of police said ex-in-laws.
Yeah. So if you guys aren't aware, Richard Sherman, cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, then he went to the 49ers, and now he's a free agent. But, Legion of Boom, Harvard graduate. My fault. We talked about it, how he could have been Ivy League. 4.6 GPA communications, but he's from Compton, I believe. He's South Central LA or something. But he grew up tough, and all the G's in the neighborhood protected him. They're like, no, this boy is going somewhere. And they made sure he stayed on the streets, which is cool. But, everybody knows Richard Sherman. So 4th of July, I guess he drank 2 bottles.
His
wife said it on the 911 call.
His wife on the 911 call said 2 bottles, 1 of Hennessy and 1 vodka.
Dude, 3 shots of Henny and I'm fucking killing everything in sight.
Bro, 1 shot of Henny and I'm yakking.
Or fucking with you got the Henny dick.
Nah, dude, Henny, I just can't do Henny. That cognac is
oof, fuck.
No, I'm cool. But it's like cheap tequila, can't do it.
Oof. Yeah, so he bugged out and went off and freaking was threatening a family member. And this is all allegedly. Well, is it allegedly? Is it? I mean, the police report says it's allegedly until he's convicted.
So he's innocent until proven guilty. But we don't know exactly what happened pre the ring video.
Or the 911 call, though, was pre-ring video.
Yeah.
He had to drive to the in-laws house, or ex-in-laws house, for that ring video to happen.
Yeah, so we don't know 100% what happened. We do know that Richard Sherman did physically assault a door, tried to run through it, didn't work, was hollering at someone either related to his wife or his in-laws or something, and then did get into an altercation with some police or sheriff's deputies up there that had the canine released. And
Ray, you're a bitch. He was hollering through the door, and he was shoulder checking this like Cam Chancellor would. Like he learned from his teammates.
That door.
That's a dead ass deadbolt.
That door held up. Honestly, from the video, I didn't think it would hold up.
No, he was. You would thought he was a defensive end in the NFL. The way he put his shoulder into that shit. But Ray on the other side of that door. All I know is that he's a bitch, and that shit he was talking on the other side of the door was real fucking cute, and he should have came outside. But I do know that his in-laws that reported this to the police said that one of them got his pistol and had it cocked loaded, ready to go because they were in fear of their life. I'm guessing it was Ray Ray, the way Richard Sherman was calling him a bitch and saying he was cute and a bitch. I'm guessing Ray Ray's probably had to grab a gun. Don't know you, Ray Ray, but you're a bitch.
And the saying goes, you can take the homie out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homie.
Right?
Because that motherfucker, like,
he was gassed the fuck up.
Yeah, he was ready to fight.
His GPA dropped substantially.
And I mean, he did end up with an injury on
He went from Stanford to community college real quick.
He ended up with an injury on his foot that, from the looks of it, looks like a dog bite.
Well, in the report and everything,
I know the dog did get released.
He fought with the cops. The cop got injured. He got injured, and the look of it on his ankle or right above his ankle,
yeah,
it looks like a fucking tooth mark from a canine. Like, and he had to have stitches. But that cop also looked like he had dog bites on him.
Yeah.
Now, did Sherman bite the cop? No, I don't think so. But who knows? That Hennessy's that dark liquor. Ask Shannon Sharp with his fucking stupid comments about Kobe. that Henny Hen will do some dumb shit.
But yeah, so I mean, he's in some legal trouble.
From the way the chief of police was talking at the conference, saying how good of a guy he was and how much he's done for the greater community of Seattle, Washington, and all the charities he does. Doesn't seem like he's in a lot. Seems like that chief of police was a fanboy and wanted his rookie card signed real quick. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think he was officially brought up on 5 misdemeanors, and he posted the bail. The bail was $25,000.
I do believe.
And so
DUI was one of them. He ended up hitting one of those concrete. What are they? Barricades?
Yeah, like a concrete divider for the roadway.
Yeah, in his Mercedes SUV, not a G-Wagon. In his Mercedes SUV, and then ended up, I don't know how he got it across to Arby's parking lot, because that wheel was kind of tucked a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He drove that shit, and ditched it there, and then beat the shit out of the front door. But that front door seemed like it was like for Debo. Well, I guess Debo even got knocked the fuck out. That front door stood, you know? But but the sad thing is during this rant and all this bullshit, before he even went to his in-laws' house and did all this shit allegedly, he was texting people telling them that he was going to hang himself. That he was going to commit suicide and he was going to hang himself. Now, we might joke around about a lot of shit on this podcast, but one thing we don't joke around about is suicide and mental health. We've had a few people really close to us and pretty recent commit suicide. So yeah, we don't do that shit. If anybody feels like they have no way out, please call me, call Big Mike over here, or call somebody that you know if you don't know us. Reach out. There's always somebody that can try to help. And suicide's never the answer. But yeah, with that being said, you want to move on to something else? You want to move on to Deshaun Watson? The Eagles said that they're going to take him if he gets his legal issues cleared up. But again, since like the second or third episode of the podcast, we haven't really discussed Deshaun Watson because it's not.
There hasn't been much word on the legal side.
Even when we looked it up, we couldn't find anything.
Yeah, there's not much. And they could just be keeping it hush-hush.
Yeah.
And that can happen.
Ooh.
Where, like, judges can keep stuff closed until afterwards.
Could have sealed the documents, shit.
And so that could be what's happening with a closed off. And I mean, COVID could also be playing a part in this, where not
Absolutely.
as many people are allowed in the courtrooms and those kind of things. Mm-hmm. But I guess it's yet to see. And I mean, if he does become an Eagle, they're still going to lose. I mean,
fly Eagles fly, my asshole. They won one. I get it. I'm a Cowboys fan. Fuck them. Fuck the Giants.
They
fuck
won
them.
one.
Fuck,
okay, cool.
Fuck the football team. You know, all that shit. Tom Brady still gassed up.
This man, I mean, he in that interview.
Oh, I'm so happy he left under Belichick. I'm so happy he left the nest under Daddy, because he's fucking entertainment.
To be honest,
I like him now.
I like him as a person.
If he could have been like this whole time, he probably would have been my favorite quarterback. One of.
Just
now he kind of is. He's getting like that Gronk thing without the alcohol.
Well, my thing is, with the alcohol after that party.
Right. Wait, hold on. We talked about the Stanley Cup. What they said right there. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Their tweet, but reference that again. The tweet from because the Stanley Cup has its own Twitter handle, right?
Yeah.
What'd they say when they won?
It literally said
the Tampa Bay Lightning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They won an NHL, their second NHL championship
back to
in a
back.
row. And it said something like, "I'm too heavy to throw."
Yeah, Tom Brady, I'm too heavy to throw. Something about no matter how much alcohol you drink or something.
Yeah.
Some shit. Yeah, that's fucking funny. That's comedy.
Tom Brady still he literally said that he's not gonna.
He's on 100.
He's not gonna because everybody's trying to figure out what team he's been talking about when he talks about
That
passed on.
motherfucker. Yeah, that motherfucker kept him over me.
And he said he's not gonna publicly announce it.
The quarterback or the team they were talking about.
Because it's a private thing for him, and he uses it as motivation every day because it's like they passed up on Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan.
He's putting himself in that category with the GOATs, which most people already know.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and most people know it. A lot of people know it, but don't want to admit that he's in that GOAT conversation.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got those people that are just AFC haters.
Yeah.
Like
Or Tom Brady hater.
Well, they hate New England.
Yeah, because they dog-walked the whole league for so long.
And they just hate seeing them dominate the AFC over and over and over.
Dominate the NFL over and over and over, you know?
And so, and I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was probably on that boat for a while.
I was.
And it's just...
Because he wasn't allowed to have his own
different
personality. Exactly. He wasn't allowed to have personality. He seemed like a fucking AI, like a robot. And he seemed like he was Belichick's little bitch. And now it's just showing that he was in a system where he didn't really have that
personality.
He couldn't. He couldn't. And I get it. You know what I'm saying?
And I honestly now I respect that he was professional enough to understand that he had to do what the system needed.
And how many pay cuts he took to bring other people in.
And so, TB12's gassed up as always.
I'm a huge fan though. I'm a huge fan.
The predictions say that and these are some predictions, say they should be 13-4.
Ooh, yeah. Do you have all the the projections of the schedule of the fucking what are they called? Oh my god, I can't even think.
The whole league?
Yeah, of projections of their win-loss record, or you just have the tops.
No, I didn't grab all of them off the article I was reading. I grabbed the Bucks, obviously, because they're the returning champs, and so 13-4 is what the article was saying on ESPN.
I can see that.
Kansas City also was 13-4.
Yeah, I can see that.
My Denver Broncos 8-9 is what they said, and then your Cowboys 7-10.
Hey. It's America's Cowboys.
America's Cowboys.
America. 7-10.
And then the Raiders also 7-10.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm one of those Cowboys fans that understands shit. I'm one of those Cowboys fans that has reason. Okay, I'm not one of those. Nope, Super Bowl, like you know how some of the 49ers fans are. Quest for six. I'm one of those that we've kind of been ass, like really badass. But we skipped over a little bit of that Richard Sherman story. So his charges, and he was, say he was going to commit suicide. But before we started recording the podcast, I played the 911 tape for you, and I want to hear your reaction on the operator, the 911 operator, and how she handled that situation. Because you know where I stand, and I'll get into that too. But I commented on the video of the 911 call. And said she needed to be fired immediately. So, go ahead, Big Mike.
Yeah, I listened to the 911 call, and she...
From the jump.
Yeah, I think that she didn't... And I know that whether or not she had a call before or whatever that hurt her or whatever, she definitely came in not de-escalating and probably escalated the situation. At one point, there was a male who was talking, and she freaked out saying...
Or it can only take one person at a time.
Yeah.
But that was way deep.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is from the jump, she seemed to be pre-agitated.
Oh, yeah.
Not with the situation at hand, but something that either happened on a call before or whatever. She was pre-agitated.
Yeah.
And
she just could be a real bitch.
That could be. She seemed when she called back, when Sherman's wife called back.
She seemed agitated slightly for the first part and then calmed down.
I don't know if she calmed down because she realized
the severity,
or if she calmed down because she realized who it was,
or she calmed down because she knew, like, process all of a sudden. Oh, I mean, this is exactly who it was,
and
this
how
is
big
going to
it
go
was
public.
Gonna go.
Yeah, this is going.
I don't know, and I can't honestly
speak for how she felt.
I don't know how she felt, and honestly, I don't know what she's going through. I mean, she could be going through some shit.
Either way,
in that moment,
your job is to, sorry, go.
That's what I was going to say. Is in that moment, your job is to de-escalate, to get the information.
Not even
you need.
de-escalate. That's a cop's job.
Well, you need to be able to de-escalate de-escalate the caller enough so you can get the information you need
and try to calm them down and basically be kind of a therapist, because nobody calls 911 because something good happened. Nobody says, "Hey, 911 or 911 Mercy, oh, hey, we're having a great time over here. Oh my goodness, we're having a couple cocktails and we're having so much fun jumping on a trampoline or a bounce house." They call because they are at one of the most crucial fucking hard times in their life.
Probably the lowest.
Or the lowest time of their life. And they need somebody to be understanding, especially that somebody that they're looking to for support and fucking help to possibly rescue them. So why would, you call 911 and the operator is like, "Man, calm down." You're like, I get it. Sometimes you need to calm that person down, but the way she went about it, like...
But when is someone yelling "calm down" at you ever got you to calm down?
Yeah.
When has that ever worked for anybody?
Yeah. And Sherman's wife sounded pretty sensible. She was telling her what was going on while Richard Sherman was allegedly, doing combative stuff and getting in a vehicle and trying to drive away and supposedly running through a gate. And she seemed, semi-collected for the situation at hand, even though he was threatening to kill himself.
I know that the dispatcher was initially, obviously, she could have probably gone about it, but she was trying to get the information she needed.
Yeah.
Because the dispatcher doesn't need all the bullshit.
But that's what's going to come with it. But yes.
That's what's going to come with it. And dispatchers, I guess, it's whatever, but her first thing...
I.e., we've never been in that position of being a dispatcher. So, we're talking on our ass in opinion right now. And to anybody who is a dispatcher, we've never been in your shoes. And if we understand the job is pretty fucked up.
I mean, the call that she got before that could have been a baby dead.
Oh, 100%. And that's the thing, too. Like, being a dispatcher comes with its shit. So.
And I know, well, I don't know, but from what the dispatcher needs, they don't need to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
They need to know what you want and where you are.
Yeah, and the primary facts, yeah. To relay to the police or fire or ambulance.
So once they get the address, then the extra information is helpful.
Yeah, like, do I need to...
But in an emergency, the address is the first most important thing, and that's... And I'm trying to...
From what we know.
I'm going to assume that the dispatcher, that was her intentions. Did she go about it professionally?
Fuck no.
Not at all. And like I said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the call before that was.
But see, you're in that profession. You have to wipe the slate clean every call. Can you as a human? Probably
sometimes
not.
Yes, sometimes no.
But you still can't blame that. And most of the time when you call from a phone or a landline or a cell phone, they can triangulate your location. Not all the time. I mean, and it could be more wrong than right. But I don't know. If you want to come to your own judgment or opinion, go on YouTube and type in Richard Sherman 911 tape or 911 call or audio and comment and tell us what you think. We could be completely wrong. I know that me and Big Mike over here, we have pretty much the same opinion, but they differ a little bit. So
I mean, honestly, I've never been in the case where I've had to call 911 in those situations.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't know that stress.
How I would act, or we've never been a dispatcher, so I don't know how to react in that sense. But you would think they should have training enough to where they can, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, that's the thing is, and I mean, that's a dark hole, deep dark hole we go to. Do they have that training?
Because every dispatcher is going to have a different opinion, different answer for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I can tell you right now that there's no way our shitty ass departments around here pay their dispatchers enough.
Oh no, not
or
at all.
Train them enough.
Well, and police don't have enough training either to do what they do. Like,
that's what I'm saying. This hole is deep.
Yeah, I'm saying in general, metropolitan cities too. Tell me why a barber has to do 5,000 or 3,000 hours of fucking apprenticeship to become an actual certified barber, but a cop has to do 6 months of 8 hours a day training, and then 6 months of FTO, field training officer training, and they go out with a gun and shit. They can violate your rights, they could kill you, or they could get killed. Both sides of the spectrum of the sword. It's a double-edged sword. They can get killed, get fucked over, get violated, or they can violate, kill, and fuck somebody over. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could arrest somebody for something that it shouldn't have been, and that person could spend years of their life in prison and miss out their families and lose everything. At the same time, they could be super violated and get killed for something that they didn't have training for.
Yeah.
But a barber should not have to go through more hours of training than a fucking law enforcement officer who gets to carry a gun and make judgments on someone's life. You feel me?
Oh, 100%.
So, that is what it is.
And that's what I'm saying. So, my thing, and this is my stance, is I don't think that the cops dispatch have enough training sometimes, especially to deal with the shit that they have to deal with now.
Yeah, they get fucked.
And my easy answer is there's bad and there's good in every profession.
That's
race, the easiest
every
answer.
Profession, in humans.
Like, legitimately, there's bad teachers, there's good teachers.
Well, you know that firsthand.
And so, and that's just my opinion. Like, you're gonna get bad cops, you're gonna get good cops. I've ran into both.
Yeah, me too. It's the human race, is what it is. When somebody has natural selection, not natural, but has choice.
Yeah.
There's gonna be good, there's gonna be bad. There's gonna be the cop that frames somebody and takes their money and says they were drug dealers who they weren't. There's going to be the cops that report the cop for stealing or not. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I want to cover, I know we're probably pushing right now, is, and this is a big thing, especially in women's rights, is the NBA 2K22 cover that's coming out. I know you did a lot of research since we've been talking tonight about the cover athletes. I know I brought it to your attention, but 2K has historically put on one of their versions of the new game a female WNBA player. You want to touch on that, Big?
Yeah.
This will probably be the story we end with, right?
Yeah. So, essentially, the NBA 2K releases with more than one cover usually.
Which is a basketball game. So.
Yeah. And it usually releases for more than one cover. Like, they have the standard cover, and then they have, like, a special edition. Like, last year, I think it was last year they had the Mamba edition. And so this year they're releasing the standard edition, which is Luka from the Mavs, Luka Doncic. And then they have the NBA's 75th anniversary, because for those of you that don't know, it is the 75th year of the NBA. And that'll have Kareem, Kevin Durant, and one other person on it. I can't think of the other person. It's Kareem.
Kareem, Dirk.
So
Dirk
Kareem, Dirk, and Kevin Durant on that one. And then, for the first time ever, it is the 25th anniversary of the WNBA. So Candace Parker, who's the first female to grace the...
She's the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah, she's really good.
Hall of Fame.
She played for...
Was it Sparks? Was it the LA Sparks?
No.
Monarchs and...
I just saw the cover, too. Son of a beat.
I'll look it up right now.
But, so you can buy that edition, which is the WNBA 25th anniversary edition, and you get some jerseys and...
In the game.
In the game. And if I read it correctly, because it's early release stuff, the way it reads is they will have their first WNBA My Player, which is like the career. You can usually
build your player, build their face.
Yeah, and so normally you can only do it in the NBA. And the way I read it is if you buy the WNBA version, you will also have the actual My Player forward so you can play in the WNBA.
Which is dope, which I've never seen before. So she was drafted in 2008 and played till 2020 with the Los Angeles Sparks. Then she played in some other country, WNBA players play in WNBA, and then the off season they go play overseas because they don't make enough money in either to really pay the bills. So they have to. It's a full-time job of playing basketball in the United States for the WNBA, and then in other countries to keep their life alive.
That was
she's still active. I didn't know that. She's with the Chicago Sky WNBA team.
So that's why I was like, I wasn't sure, because they're going with that.
Are you serious?
Jersey as
she only played this year with them. She played with the fucking the LA Sparks from 2008 to 2020 or 2020. They should have. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's what threw me is because they're using the Chicago jersey for.
That's why I was like Sparks. You're like, that's not what it showed. I get it. No, that's wild.
Yeah, so Chicago is the jersey that they went with.
She's a WNBA champion, a WNBA Finals MVP, 2-time season MVP, 6-time All-Star, WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, Rookie of the Year, All-Rookie Team, All WNBA First Team, All WNBA Second Team, All Defensive Second Team, Rebounding Leader, Peak Performer, Top 2020. Yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah,
she is the GOAT of WNBA. One of, Lisa Leslie, right?
Yeah,
Lisa Leslie is the GOAT. Candace Parker is right there, like Kobe to Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah, Candace Parker is amazing. She's done a lot for the league.
Absolutely, respect.
Kobe himself was trying to do a lot for the league, just because of his daughters.
He was a
big proponent. He was a big proponent for them making more money. And I mean, to be honest, the WNBA doesn't probably bring in as much money as the NBA. But if we're being honest with ourselves, they're all under the same umbrella.
Absolutely.
So if their male count, I'm not saying the WNBA players should make exactly as much as the NBA players because of the revenue difference. But you're telling me that the NBA couldn't send some of their money towards the NBA to make them be able to have a little bit more money?
Yeah. Like we talked about MLB and their AAA teams with the food situation.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you touched on that, like why the MLB couldn't send some more money down to the AAA to like give them better food to help them with their
just be healthier.
Yeah, healthier. We talked. You brought that up. We talked about that.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago. It's the same thing with the WNBA or the G League in a sense, But hey, salute to Candace Parker being the first cover athlete, one of the first cover athlete for one of the covers of any NBA 2K game.
Yeah.
That's hard as shit. That's gangster. You would have thought Lisa Leslie would have been, but Lisa Leslie was the first female to ever dunk in a professional game too, right?
I believe.
WNBA anyways.
I believe so. Dunks don't happen very often.
No, not with the women. No, that's crazy. I think they're more... you got Brittany Griner now, who's like 6'8".
She dunks more regularly than most people.
But Lisa Leslie was the first.
I'm intrigued if it actually does have a WNBA career on how much they put into it.
Right.
Because they put all this time into making storylines and stuff for the My Career side.
But I wonder if they did the same thing, they just changed the character. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know...
That's what I'm saying. How much do they put into it? Do they...
Yeah.
Is it just a generic, or are they just going to swap out the male for a female counterpart?
So why don't we buy both and report back?
I don't know.
We'll see. But I think, are we good on everything? We touched on everything we want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers declined a 2-year contract to make him the highest paid quarterback or athlete or NFL player in the history of the NFL, I believe. So a lot of speculations that he's playing out this year, because he's playing out this year from what we understand. And probably not re-signing in Green Bay, which leaves the whole discussion open, which is good for us as podcasters, the sports podcast. But yeah, with that being said, we appreciate each and every one of you listeners, viewers, wherever, whatever you may do or be. Thank you. Subscribe, like, listen, view, share, please, comment. Let us know if there's any topics you want us to discuss. And, this is episode 10 of the Big and Blizz podcast. That's Big Mike over there. I'm Blizzy. And until next time, signing out. Peace.